I worked in a lab that tested on animals. Now I'm a leader in the movement to stop it. Even former vivisectors like me are turning against the abuse of animals because we can't unsee what we've seen, and we have a newfound power to stop the abuse. I was valedictorian of my college class, and I was encouraged to go into a field where I would save lives, researching ventilation for people dying of respiratory disease. I was surprised when I got to graduate school and I learned that I would be experimenting on animals. I was a vegetarian and an animal lover, and this seemed terrifying and wrong, but the research we were doing seemed so important. We were trying to help people who had lost control of their basic functions, including their lungs. There were posters on the lab walls filled with propaganda about why hurting animals was necessary to help human beings. I was told we had to kill animals to save human lives. I was conflicted, but I chose my career because I thought that was the way I could make a difference in this world. The next 6 months were some of the worst of my life. We never saw the pig when she was conscious. She was already under anesthesia when we entered the operating room, but we would cut her up, experiment on her, and at the end, she would be killed. I asked why we had to kill her, and the lab managers just said, well, who else would want her? I thought to myself, I would, but I didn't have the bravery or the resources then to save her. So after she was used for several surgeries, she was killed, and we slid her off the table into a garbage can. I had never even heard of a sanctuary for farm animals, and I didn't know of a single other person who cared, or at least cared enough to speak out. It became too much for me. When my mom asked me how things were going in the lab, I just burst into tears. After 6 months, I quit. This is the world we live in. Our compassion is strangled. We're made to feel like it has to be this way. But in the 10 years since I quit this job, I've seen a whole new world of possibilities. In 2014, I went to the DXE forum, and for the first time, I was surrounded by people who understood how I felt. I got on the megaphone for the first time. I learned from some of the best activists and scholars on the planet. And instead of torturing pigs, I'm now going into some of the largest factory farms on the planet to save them. It all happened because I found people who believed that we could change the world. Now I'm one of them. I built a chapter with that vision. Then I started doing global organizing. I organized a conference myself, then I led our Direct Action team, and now I'm the lead organizer of the entire Direct Action Everywhere network. I think about my time in the lab and what I could have done if I had the knowledge and the support and the power I have now. I think about how we've banned fur and occupied factory farms and streamed by the hundreds into slaughterhouses and taken the animals out. I envision going back to that lab and walking right in with a mass of people to rescue every last animal inside. And I know it will happen. Not just because of my own abilities, but because my role as a leader is to help you undergo the same transformation that I went through. Because if a vivisector can become a movement leader, then each and every one of us has the power to change the world. Sign up to change the world with us at righttorescue.com.